Um, Welcome to Sergeant Dorsey Speaks, live at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. So, I'm sorry. I've got to share this on a couple of places. I need you to do the same thing as you step into the door. Hey, Marie. Hey, Mac. Hey, Roger. Welcome, welcome. Share this on your timeline, and I'm not going to be with you long because I got some trick or treating to do. I was really debating about, whether or not I was going to come in costume tonight. And so, while many of you may not appreciate it, I am in costume. I, let's see, what am I? I am a warrior queen, official head wrap and everything, right? But you guys already knew that. You understand that I'm a warrior queen. Um, so this isn't really a stretch. But I thought I would do something that was fun and clean all at the same time, right? Anyway, welcome. Hey, Mac, what's up? So I'm not going to be with you long. Hello, Christopher. Welcome, welcome. I'm not going to be with you long. I just have a couple of things that I want to share with you. It's been kind of a quiet news week, if you will, because, politics are dominating right now. And I think that's going to be the order of the day for a minute. I would imagine that most of you know that the House voted today to move with public hearings for the impeachment inquiry so that the public can all see what's been going on behind the scenes and who said what and why and yeah, all of that. So, little Tink Tink, he couldn't even leave the house today. He was sitting probably in front of 3, 4 TVs, flipping back and forth, trying to see who he was going to fuss at next, right? So it's about to go down, and I'm here for it. It's been reported, and I don't do a lot of political stuff, you guys, because I just don't. I um, I am paying attention, but I'm just wanting Tink Tink to be who he is, change nothing, sir, and continue to make a complete ass of yourself for all the world to see. While I'm happy and excited about this whole inquiry, I do not want Tink Tink to get impeached because the Christian, oh Lord, he's worse if he becomes the president. I just want the history books to have all the ammunition that they need to drag him like the dog he is when they write whatever it is they write about this 45th president of these United States. And so, I was wondering like, hey, Kevin, Kevin, vocal majority, what's up? I see you. I was thinking about, what his presidential library would be like, I'm thinking I'm dropping stuff. Hold on. I'm thinking it'll probably be like a fun house or something, right? They can't be serious about putting up some kind of a structure of any real significance for this guy, but I'm just curious to know what that's going to look like. It has to be entertaining. Okay, so enough of that. Now, listen, for those of you who are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey. I'm a retired Los Angeles Police Department sergeant, 20 years, all in patrol. And so I come to you week to week and I just talk about what's trending in the news. I try to decipher police code talk when we hear it from police chiefs, sheriffs, commissioners, and others. I try to offer ways in which we all might survive a police encounter should we have one. And I just had one not too long ago. I got a ticket I got to take care of. It's a fix it ticket. You guys know why I got a fix it ticket, right? Because I drive around dirty. I have no plates on my car and I got a limo tent all the way around. So CHP caught me. And listen, I get stopped kind of regularly, but I just take it all in stride because I know that I'm wrong. And so, that's why I come to you guys and I share with you. Sometimes you've seen me when I get stopped. I've gone live to show you a little bit of it. And I say, comply and complain. Live, survive that police encounter. That's what I want you guys to get from me whenever I come to you. I want you to be able to walk away from that get you a good ass attorney, and fill your pockets full of gold. Comply and complain, folks. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, what I want is for everybody to survive that police encounter. So when there's something like that to talk about, I'll talk about it with you. Now, let me just say this because I'm here and I don't have my special towel. Oh, where is it? Okay, I got a lot of new subbies. You guys know I'm on a little campaign, so I need all of you who have not already slide over to Sergeant Dorsey Speaks on the YouTube channel. Help me reach my goal, which is trying to get to 10,000 subbies. That would be helpful. Go take 2 or 3 friends, you know, like you do when you go into the poll. Take 2 or 3 people with you over to YouTube and sign up for Sergeant Dorsey Speaks. So having said that, for those that are new and those that have been liking what they see on Sergeant Dorsey Speaks, and for those of you who have been most engaging and commenting, we've been going back and forth about a lot of different stuff over on YouTube. So I want to say thank you and welcome to God's Property, Lamar, King Morris 78, Christy to Love, Thomas, Vocal Majority, what's up? Jump Rope Stairs. Thank you for the email, Jump Rope Stairs. I appreciate, you know, the conversation that we've been having behind the scenes offline. Thank you for that. Kevin Green, Andy Beers, Lucky 806, Demetrius, and Sean. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those of you who maybe I didn't get to name but are relatively new, thank you. I appreciate you, my new Facebook followers and likers, Herman, Natasha, Harley, and Jim Ho. Welcome, welcome. Tell a friend. Now, let's get to it. You know, I have a podcast that drops every Tuesday, Sergeant Dorsey Speaks. You can find me on the podcast platform of your choice, but I just want to share with you a little bit about what you may have missed on last week. I talked a little bit about some goings on in Dallas. Police Chief Renel Hall, sister girl, has fired 3 of her officers. And so I'm not going to get into a long drawn out thing about it. Here's what I think about it, okay? I think she's trying to placate us. I think she went for the low-hanging fruit because the 3 that she fired, one was Officer Sean Brown, who was driving while intoxicated. Officer Jerry Thames, who was let go for being involved in several family violence situations. I don't know what that means, but anyway. And then Officer Darren Harris Jr. was fired for mishandling 911 calls. So listen, those sound like, you know, what I said, low-hanging fruit, very easy to adjudicate administratively. I'd like to see sister girl Renee go after, you know, some of the elephant hunters that are out there on the Dallas Police Department, like Martin Rivera. You know, we heard a lot about him and little Amber and all that touching they were doing on the clock, right? It seems that little Martin Rivera likes to dip his ink pen in the company ink well, if you will. That's got to be a violation of something. It's got to be a department violation. And so since Renee is looking to get rid of folks who violate department policy, a la Darren Harris for mishandling 911 calls, I'd like to see her do some of that with Martin Rivera. Now, just real quick, did you guys know, California family, particularly my Long Beach, California family, did y'all know there was a mass shooting on Tuesday? Well, neither did I until I just happened to get an alert and I found out that there was actually a mass shooting in Long Beach. Now, I did see one of my Facebook family mark themselves safe during a shooting in Long Beach, but I didn't know what that was all about. Monster, I'm glad you're good. But I didn't know what that was all about. So evidently there was a situation, it says over on 7th Street near Temple Avenue around 10:44 p.m. They were referring to it as a mass casualty incident. And listen, I think there's a certain number of people that have to be injured and or killed in order for it to qualify as a mass shooting incident. But, you know, I guess when, you know, it's all black people, I don't know if that's something like dog years, like what one of ours is 7 dog years. And so I don't know what, 3 people were killed and 9 were injured. So does the number need to be bigger if it's black folks in order for it to be considered a mass shooting? I'm being stupid, but I'm serious. because did you guys know about it? It didn't make national news, wasn't talked about on CNN, and but it was a mass shooting nonetheless. In Long Beach, 3 men were killed and 9 others injured, 2 men, 7 women during a shooting. It was a party, sounds like it might have been maybe a Halloween party on Tuesday night, and the victims' age range from 20 to 49. So that happened. It happened to us. No talk about gun control or the need for, or none of that. I'm not really sure why, but anyway, be careful, family. Those of you that are partying and celebrating, be very, very careful. Also, I had mentioned, I talked about this on my podcast. There was a West Palm Beach deputy who was who's in a lot of trouble because evidently he's a hothead. And I talked about it on my podcast. And after I did the podcast, I found out that there's an update. His name is Gerald Alderman, and he's just a knucklehead. He got into a pissing contest with one of his neighbors, a female, because she was trimming hedges near his property line. Maybe they shared a fence, and he threatened to shoot her. And anyway, they didn't do anything about that. He had been involved in some other incidences between, they said, 2007 and 17. He had been involved in a plethora of inappropriate behavior. 8 incidents, actually, including neglect of duty, improper conduct, and failing to report a use of force. And with all of that, they still allowed him, to live to offend again. And so recently, he pulled a handgun on some gentlemen. He was drunk, allegedly. And so now they have relieved him. And the update is they have taken his weapons away from him. He's not allowed to possess a weapon for the next year. Judge temporarily banned possessing firearms, saying that he poses a significant danger to himself and others. And so that's going on in West Palm Beach. So if you in West Palm Beach, now listen, just because the judge told Gerald Alderman not to have a gun don't mean he won't have a gun, right? So just know that. Be careful if you live, pass through, work in West Palm Beach, Florida, because Gerald Alderman is out there, and evidently he has a very short wick. Another update that I wanted to share with you, Christopher Meyer, that's the officer, one of them, I guess the most egregious of all the officers that were on scene at that Dollar Tree incident with the Black family and the little girl who allegedly stole a dollar doll. Well, he's been fired. Christopher Meyer has been fired. Now, what I want to know is what's up with the other 10 or 12 people that were there on scene, because they all acquiesced that BS. They too should suffer some sort of disciplinary action. So here we go. I don't know if Sister Girl, the police chief over there, I can't say her name, but I don't know if she, fired Christopher to, again, placate us. Family, if you live over in Phoenix, you might want to ask her when you see her, what about those 10 or 12 other officers that were on scene? Because listen, that means they're still out there and primed to offend again, particularly if nothing happened to them. And, what did they do to deter that bad behavior? I don't know. Anyway, that's what's going on over in Phoenix. Hey, John Jones, what's up? Hey, Barry. Oh, hey, Barry, I'm so glad you're out of Facebook probation, Facebook jail. You were in jail, then on probation. And so welcome. I'm glad you're back. I need you to behave, Barry, going forward. Listen, there's something new that I saw with regards to anyone who has an iPhone. And there's a couple of things, one good, one not so good in my mind. I just had a recent update on my phone, and probably many of you did as well. So you may want to Google this and see what you can find out about it. Evidently, Siri had been able to listen to your conversations, and then people were complaining about privacy. So Apple did something, and then they undid it. So now they've got humans back listening. And so Siri can listen into you. They said something as simple as, now these aren't my words, these are theirs, and I don't know why they picked this to use, but something as simple as a zipper going up and down could activate Siri. And then she'll just listen to everything that happens after that zipper goes up or down, according to the article. So I don't know what it is about a zipper that activates Siri, but you guys just need to know. Be careful. Yeah. Anyway, that's the not so good thing. The good thing is that if you're being pulled over, there are some shortcuts that came along with that new update, and many of you may have noticed it on your phone. Shortcuts. You can create a shortcut that would have Siri begin to record if you were pulled over by the police, and all you have to do is say, Siri, I'm getting pulled over. And I hope saying this right now doesn't activate it. But I'll share the link with you where you can go and see how to activate that particular feature on your iPhone if you have one. That could be a good thing, because listen, I say all the time, you know, when you do get stopped by the police, you don't have to telegraph what it is that you're about to do. You know, if you're going to turn your phone on, just turn it on, set it down, and just let it do what it do, or let it do what it does. I haven't had dinner, and I think my levels are all off or something, and that's why I'm extra silly right now. I haven't been out trick or treating. It's not even dark here on the West Coast, so it's not because I'm full of sugar. I'm just silly. Don't judge me. Also, I wanted to share with my LA family, for those of you who are within LA City, LA County, Jackie Lacey is up for re-election next year, 2020. I know a lot of people have angst with Jackie Lacey, and so here's a good time for you to put your money where your mouth is. There's a gentleman, former LAPD, I forget his rank, but his name is George Gascon, I don't know how he pronounces it right now, because I think the pronunciation changes depending on, you know, who he's talking to, right? But he had gone up north when he left LAPD, and he also, before he was in San Francisco as the district attorney up there, he was a police chief in Mesa, Arizona. Now, I had an opportunity to meet with George Gascon a couple of years ago. I went up there and met with him with regards to some of the police reform that he was trying to do on the San Francisco Police Department, because he got a lot of pushback when he was the police chief. And so he just left the police department and went over to the DA's office thinking he would be able to have more influence there. And so now he is coming back down here to give Jackie Lacey a run for her money, if you will. So March 2020 is the primary, and for the LA people, you guys need to pay attention. If you got grief, if you got angst, if you got beef, whatever it is with Jackie Lacey, then you would want to get engaged, get involved, be informed, and vote, vote, vote. There's a police officer in New Mexico who recently resigned, and there was a video that went around, and it involved an 11-year-old Black girl. I think she was a sixth grader. And evidently the officer says that, you know, she took too much milk from the cafeteria, and, you know, supposedly one of the, or two administrators in the school alerted the resource officer, Zachary Christensen. And so, shoot, Zachary, you know, you don't get to just steal cartons of milk and get away with it, Missy. So he goes and finds this little girl, this jackass, Zachary, and he tackles her, he wrestles her down to the ground. And really, at some point in the video, and I'll share it with you, you can hear, it sounds like faculty telling him, dude, that's enough. What are you doing? You're hurting her. The little girl is saying, you know, you're hurting me. What are you doing? You're twisting my arm. And he just didn't want to stand down, if you will. And what was funny is this knucklehead was actually fighting. he was having a hard time taking a sixth grader down. He couldn't cuff her, he couldn't control her, he couldn't stop her. I don't know where the heck they found him, but anyway, he's gone now. All of this behind a carton of damn milk. And listen, it wasn't even a gallon of milk, because this is school cafeteria, right? You know, they give you them little bitty cartons. And this dumbass is fighting this baby over a carton of milk. So I just shared the video with you. She suffered allegedly a concussion and has arm and shoulder pain. Good for you. Get a good attorney, please. They should be paying that baby's way through college. If it were mine, I'm just saying. And listen, while the officer was wrestling with this girl, he's yelling himself, because what he's doing is he's creating an audio record to try to substantiate that excessive use of force by saying, stop resisting, quit kicking me, quit, turn around, stop moving, all of the things that police officers say to you when they're really handing you your ass, right? Because that's what they do. They create an audio record, whereas someone may not even be able to see what's going on, but they can hear it, and they'll say, well, I didn't see it, but I heard the officer say this and that. So, just one of those little things that, police officers do, trying to be slick. A little nugget I'm sharing with you, much like I did. Some of you appreciated when I talked about officers who put leather gloves on. I talked about it when I was interviewed by the young man that I shared on Facebook and on YouTube. Officers who put leather gloves on because they're about to put hands on you. So if you are ever being detained, and if you're a little too mouthy and asking too many questions, and the officers reach in that back pocket and start pulling out leather gloves, that would be a good time to just shut up, survive the encounter, get you a good attorney, create a paper trail, and get paid. That's my best advice. Over on the NYPD, there's a police officer, and they say he's a veteran detective. I don't know what they mean by veteran anymore. Sometimes they'll say veteran 2 years, and that's not a veteran. I just can't imagine this guy would have significant time on and not realize that this was a dumb move. But what he did was he accessed the department computer and got a picture of Cuba Gooding when he got booked, and then this dum-dum shared it. He shared the picture of Cuba Gooding, and it didn't take him long to figure out that, he accessed the picture. So now Detective Josh Ulan from the Special Victims Crime Unit has been placed on administrative duty. And, since it's NYPD, I don't expect a whole lot to happen because it's NYPD. But clearly, he didn't think that through very thoroughly, because it's very, very easy to, when we sign on, I'm sure it's the same as when I was on. When you sign on to the computer, you got to use a password and some kind of identifying number or a screen name or something. So it's very easy to see who's running Cuba Gooding's booking photo, and sharing it with the media. Now, I don't know if, he gave it to TMZ or who, and I don't know how much they gave him, but I'm sure it wasn't commensurate with his salary. So I don't know what he was thinking about, but that's that. Thank you, Bevelyn McGregor. You said I look beautiful tonight in my little head wrap. I did the best I could. I'm going to try to get better at this, but, I just wanted to kind of come to you in a little get up tonight for Halloween. I'm going to grab my plastic bag and my grandkids or my sons, whichever ones want to go out with me, and we're going to go get some candy. So I just wanted to come to you very briefly tonight, share that little bit with you, and we'll do this again on next week. So until then, family, be good and be safe. Happy Halloween.